Do you ever snap for no reason or wake up feeling like you haven't slept at all? If this sounds familiar, you're not going crazy, and you're probably not the only one. It turns out there's a hidden thief in our food system, one that's quietly stealing a single crucial mineral in our bodies, a mineral that basically controls whether you feel energized or exhausted, calm or constantly on edge. Stick around because we're going to expose what's missing, why it's gone, and exactly how you can get it back to reclaim your energy and your calm. The answer is shockingly simple, but it's flying completely under the radar. So if you're constantly feeling irritable, drained, or just off, you're in good company. There's a silent epidemic of people feeling unwell, and the main suspect is hiding right on our plate. It's really what's missing in our food. In this video, I'm not going to talk as much about junk food as I am what's missing from even our healthy food. And we're going to address how our food supply became so depleted in minerals. It happened in two major ways. First, it all started in the ground. For decades, modern farming has been obsessed with getting bigger crops faster. To do that, they've pumped the soil full of fertilizers that focus on just three things: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. The NPK model works for creating huge yields, but it treats the soil like a factory floor instead of a living ecosystem. The result is that our soil has become seriously depleted of other vital minerals. Plants can only give us what they get from the soil, so if the minerals aren't there, they can't end up in our food. That healthy spinach that you're eating is likely a nutritionally weaker version than what your grandparents ate. Then comes the second hit, the processing of our food. The journey from the farm to our plate can be destructive. When whole grains get milled into white flour for bread and pasta, a huge chunk of their mineral content gets stripped away. We're talking losses of over 80% for magnesium. The most nutrient-dense parts are the bran and the germ, and those are removed entirely. When vegetables are boiled or canned, minerals can leach into the water that gets tossed. What we're left with is a food supply full of empty calories, foods that give us energy but none of the essential building blocks that our body needs. So what is this mystery mineral that I've been alluding to? Well, we've been robbed of magnesium. Think of your body as the most complex machine on the planet. And magnesium is like the master key that makes it run. It's involved in over 300 critical biochemical reactions. Let that sink in, 300. These aren't minor jobs. They are the foundations of your health, covering everything from building proteins to regulating blood pressure. But two of the most important jobs explain exactly why you feel so angry and tired. First up, energy. Your body runs on a tiny power molecule called ATP. It's the battery for every single cell you have. For your body to actually use that battery, ATP has to be bound to magnesium. No magnesium, no usable power. It's like having a car with a dead battery. A magnesium deficiency literally puts your body into low power mode, which is why you feel so drained and so weak. Next, your mood and your focus. Feeling jumpy, anxious, or quick to anger, struggling with brain fog, or finding it impossible to concentrate. There's a solid biological reason for that. Magnesium is your nervous system's best friend, acting like a gatekeeper for a receptor in your brain. Without enough magnesium, your brain's nerve cells can get way too excited, leaving you feeling constantly on or stressed out and unable to focus. On top of that, magnesium is essential to the function of GABA, which is a calming neurotransmitter. Low magnesium can lead to less GABA activity, which can then open the door to anxiety, irritability, and that awful panicky feeling. So your nervous system gets stuck in the on position, and you're left feeling frazzled and angry. Do you know anyone who feels like that? So just how many people are we talking about? Because the numbers are pretty staggering. Studies and national surveys suggest that nearly half of the US population isn't getting the recommended amount of magnesium from their diet every day. That means almost 1 out of every 2 people could be running low on this critical mineral. And the symptoms are so common, I guess it's become the new normal, so we just brush it off. We've talked about the feeling of being tired and irritable. What about muscle twitches or those annoying leg cramps at night? Tension headaches, trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, suffer from brain fog or lack of focus? Yep, all of that's on the list. We see the struggle with focus and irritability everywhere, and it's not just adults. In the book Finely Focused, the author highlights how critical magnesium is for brain function, even for our kids who may be struggling in school. Because these symptoms seem so disconnected, most people never link them to a single root cause. We blame stress, getting older, or just being too busy. But so often, these are just band-aids. They don't fix the root cause. Your body is starved for a mineral it desperately needs to work right. This isn't some minor nutritional gap. It's a widespread problem that's secretly tanking our collective health and happiness. I want to take a quick pause here, because if any of this is hitting home for you, the exhaustion, the moodiness, or the brain fog, do me a favor and let me know in the comments. It's powerful to see how many of us are struggling with the exact same things, and it shows that we're not alone. Okay, so this is not meant to be a doom and gloom, but an optimistic video. If we know the problem and we know the culprit, then we can discuss the solution. So the great news is you have the power to fix this. First, let's talk about food, my favorite thing to talk about on this channel, because our freedom begins and ends in our kitchen. You have to start being intentional about getting magnesium-rich foods on your plate. I'm talking about dark leafy greens like spinach, add some nuts and seeds like almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds. You can throw in some legumes like black beans and lentils. Those are fantastic sources. Whole grains that haven't been stripped of their nutrients like quinoa or brown rice. And of course, when purchasing wheat, I recommend you go direct to the farmer. I only go to Guardian Grains, who is a glyphosate-free, chemical-free, tillage-free farm. And what you get from them still has the bran and the germ because you get the whole grain from them. I'll make sure I put a link in the show notes for that. And yes, even a little high-quality dark chocolate gets a pass because it's surprisingly rich in magnesium. So here's the catch. Because of soil depletion, even a really healthy diet might not be enough to fully correct a deficiency. So that's where step 2 comes in, smart supplementation. The supplement aisle is a confusing mess, so let's make it simple. Not all magnesium is the same. That cheap magnesium oxide you see everywhere, your body barely absorbs it. For mood, anxiety, and sleep, look for magnesium glycinate. It's highly absorbable, gentle on the stomach, and the glycine it's bound to has a calming effect on its own. For energy, magnesium malate can be beneficial as it plays a role in your body's energy production cycles. Of course, it's a non-negotiable that you talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement to figure out what's right for you. And if you need a trustworthy source for high-quality magnesium, I'll put a link to my full script dispensary in the description below. Finally, step 3 is about playing defense. You need to stop the things that are draining your magnesium reserves. The biggest culprit is chronic stress. Your body burns through magnesium when you're stressed out. Too much caffeine and alcohol can cause you to lose more magnesium through your urine, and a diet that's high in sugar forces your body to use up its precious magnesium stores just to process it. Manage your stress, moderate your intake of coffee and alcohol, and you'll stop leaking. You'll stop those leaks that are draining your magnesium tank. So there you have it. That feeling of being tired and cranky all the time, it isn't some personal failure. It's a totally predictable result of a modern food system that has prioritized profit over nutrition. It's left us with depleted soils and processed foods that have been stripped of the master mineral, magnesium, leaving our internal batteries uncharged and our nervous systems on high alert. But you don't have to accept this as your new normal. You are in control by focusing on magnesium-rich whole foods, considering smart supplementation like magnesium glycinate, and cutting back on habits that drain your magnesium. You can finally start to feel like yourself again. Seriously, imagine waking up actually feeling rested, moving through your day with steady, calm energy and sharp focus, instead of being irritable and foggy. That's what it feels like when your body is properly nourished. It's our biological birthright. If this video has opened your eyes, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more deep dives into how to reclaim your health in this modern crazy world, and click that little bell so that you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and here's to a future with more energy and less anger.